Hey guys, Brad Danger here, and you don't need a Ferrari. You need like $20,000 and a willingness to lie to yourself just a little bit, because right now, today, you can buy a car that sounds so good, so violent, so genuinely unhinged at a cold start that people will stop on the sidewalk and stare. And those people will assume you're rich, and you will not correct them because you bought this car for less than a used Kia Sportage with a premium package and a floor mat. Sound is the cheat code in life, and today I'm handing it to you for free. Here's the thing the car industry doesn't want you to figure out: the actual driving experience of a vehicle, how special it feels, how exotic it seems, how much your heart rate goes up, is controlled more by what you hear than almost any other number on the spreadsheet. You can have 600 horsepower and sound like a leaf blower, or you can have a $15,000 sedan that fires up on a cold morning and makes your neighbor walk outside in its bathrobe just to figure out what that sound is. That is the kind of power we are discussing today. Now, to be clear, the cars on this list do not have supercar performance. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. These are not track weapons. These are not the things you take to a Ferrari meetup without an ironic sense of humor. But they have something that matters just as much as the actual daily experience of owning a car, and that is soundtrack that punches so far above its price tag, it should be embarrassing. It's not embarrassing, it's actually genius. I'm Brad Danger, this is Ideal, and by the end of this video, some of you are gonna feel personally attacked. But first, we just got done giving away our second giveaway cars. So we're about to do our third, which is bigger, badder, and better. Click the link down below and put in your email so you're the first to know when that drops. Like, subscribe, and let's go. Hey guys, real quick, the giveaway for the Shelby and Supra and the $100,000 has ended, and well, the winners are being picked right now, but we're coming back bigger and badder and better. So click the link in the pinned first comment, because like Rocky, who won the GTR, like Greg, who won the 100K, you can sign up to be notified and get 100 free entries once it goes live. So click the link down below, go put in your email, and I can't wait to show you what we have cooking. All right, back to the show. First up, the Audi S6 and S8 from the early 2000s. On the outside, a conservative German luxury sedan, the kind of car driven by men named Gerald who have strong opinions about airport lounges. Ugh. Okay, brother. On the inside, though, a 5.2-liter naturally aspirated V10, 40 valves, 435 horsepower, the same engine family that Lamborghini put in the Gallardo. Yeah, you heard that correctly. A Lamborghini Gallardo will cost you six figures minimum. It will also spend a meaningful portion of its life requiring maintenance that costs more than most people's mortgages. The Audi S6 with effectively the same engine will cost you under 20 grand. It has 4 doors, and Gerald from accounting will never look at it twice. This is not a downside. This is the entire strategy. Now, Audi did what Audi does, which is take something magnificent and then quietly smother it with noise insulation and conservative tuning because they didn't want to scare the S-Class crowd. In stock form, these cars are not loud. They're actually quite refined, which is almost offensive when you think about what's underneath. But get an aftermarket exhaust on one and whole personality changes. The V10 warble, yet that distinctive 5 per bank pulse starts to come through in a way that makes no sense for a car wearing a business casual suit. Nothing on the road sounds like it. Not a V8, not a V12. A V10 is its own thing entirely, and you can have one for the price of a used pickup with questionable history. And if you want the absolute unhinged maximum version of this concept, there's the E60 BMW M5. And I have to be straight with you. Buying a high mileage E60 M5 for $20,000 is genuinely one of the more financially reckless decisions available in today's used car market. And I say that with a full respect to your anatomy as an adult who gets to make their own decisions. The maintenance costs on these things are the stuff of Reddit horror stories. The electronics are complex. The fuel consumption is a personal attack. There is a reason these are going for 20 grand. But that engine is a relic. 5-liter V10, 10 individual throttle bodies, Formula 1 derived per cylinder knock detection, a redline that kissed 8,250 RPM, and a 4-door sedan family car that you could theoretically take to soccer practice, 100 horsepower per liter, naturally aspirated, in 2005. That has never been done again with 4 doors, and it never will be. Turbos won, efficiency won, accountants with spreadsheets won. The world became more sensible and more boring at the exact same time. and the E60 M5 is the last thing standing from the era before that happened. When you start one of these and blip the throttle, it doesn't sound like a sedan, it sounds like a racing car that somehow passed its emission test through what I can only assume was a clerical error. Now, if you're a normal human being with a normal bank account and a therapist you'd like to keep seeing, the 1999 to 2004 Ford Mustang GT is your entry point into this whole world. I know, I can feel the eye rolls through the screen. Brad, it's a Mustang GT. My uncle has one. He wears an Ed Hardy shirt to car shows. Absolutely valid. But stay with me, brother. Starting in 1999, Ford fitted what they called a performance-improved cylinder heads to the 4.6-liter modular V8. New camshaft, new intake, better breathing, simple stuff. But it changed the character of this engine's exhaust note into something genuinely pleasant, warmer, more musical, almost European in quality compared to the pushrod V8 it was competing against at the time. The overhead cam architecture gives this motor a character that sits in an interesting middle ground. It's not the old school brap of traditional American muscle. It's something smoother and more refined, which sounds like a criticism, but it's actually what makes it special. With the right exhaust, and you will absolutely want to do something about that exhaust, the 4.6-liter PI Mustang sounds like a car that costs dramatically more than it does. You can find one for under $10,000. Parts are everywhere, the knowledge base is enormous, the ownership community is passionate to a degree that borders on a lifestyle choice. This is the gateway car on this list. This is where you start if you're new to caring about engine sound and you don't want to immediately cry about repair bills. Now, there's also the M156 engine, 6.2 liters naturally aspirated, built entirely in-house by AMG. Yes, we're talking about the C63 from 08 to 11. And AMG started with a blank sheet and built the V8 they actually wanted to build. And then they put it in the cheapest AMG that they made, which means you could get this engine without having to sell a kidney and 2 vacation properties. A version of this exact engine lives in the Mercedes SLS AMG, the Gullwing, the car that looks like something a movie villain drives before the hero ruins his whole evening. And here's the C63. Wearing sensible C-Class body stuffed with the same barking, cracking, absolutely furious V8, available right now for high teen money. The sound of a cold-started C63 AMG is one of the great free experiences available on this planet. It cracks at idle, it barks at throttle, it makes a sound on a hard downshift that will cause innocent bystanders to reach their phone out of pure reflex. And the best part? You don't need to touch the exhaust. The factory setup is already loud. AMG knew exactly what they were doing. They always know exactly what they're doing, at least acoustically. Mechanically, budget for the head stud thing. The owner community knows about it. There's a fix for it. Just account for it and move on. 20 grand for this engine, for this sound, this year. It's almost offensive how good this deal is. And then there's the one that's going to make half of you close the video in disbelief, and the other half immediately start searching for used listings. Yes, you didn't know about this car, the Volvo S80 V8. Go ahead, laugh. Oh wait, brother. See, Volvo, the brand that built its entire identity around being responsible. The car that comes factory standard with airbags, good intentions, and the faint smell of a library. Volvo put a V8 in their flagship sedan. And in a twist that makes the story genuinely incredible, they didn't build it themselves. They called Yamaha. Yes, that Yamaha. The company that builds motorcycles and synthesizers and apparently one of the most interesting V8 engines of the 2000s. The 4.4-liter unit they produced for the Volvo has a 60-degree bank angle, quad cam, 32 valves, all aluminum construction, and the mounting configuration that put it sideways under the hood. The only transverse V8 in a modern luxury sedan at the time. Yamaha tuned the intake and exhaust manifold specifically to optimize the sound, and what they came up with is something that genuinely has no right to exist in a car named after a Swedish safety sedan. It sounds almost Italian, smooth and melodic, with a warmth that most V8s don't have. With a proper exhaust setup, it moves into the territory that enthusiasts with actual taste recognize immediately. Everyone else will just stand there confused, trying to figure out why the Volvo sounds like that. You can find one of these for under $10,000. Yes, $10,000 for a Yamaha-built V8 that sounds like something from a country where they wave flags with horses on them. The depreciation curve on these things is a genuine gift to anyone paying attention. Nobody will see it coming, nobody will expect it, and when it starts up in a parking garage at the right moment, the acoustics will do things that are almost spiritual. So here's the big picture. We're living through the end of something. Natural aspiration is going away. High revving engines are going away. Analog exhaust notes are being replaced by synthesized sound pumped through speakers because manufacturers apparently think that you're too distracted to notice. And some of you are. Most of you aren't. You're watching a car video right now instead of doing whatever responsible thing that you're supposed to be doing. These 5 cars are the antidote. They are the artifacts from the last era of when engineers were still allowed to make something that sounded genuinely alive. And they are available right now for the kind of money that most people spend on a used truck that smells like fast food and regret. And they're not getting any cheaper. The good ones are already moving up. The market is slowly waking up to what these things actually are. So, 5 cars under 20,000 bucks, supercar sound. Go find them before they are all discovered and they're all way too much money by using the link in the first comment via Auto Tempest. And remember to like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and check out some of these Ideal vids over here. I'm Brad Danger. This is Ideal, and promise me one thing: keep living the ideal lifestyle.